Cavs, reaction.
Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Indiana Pacers. The Cavs just basically what happened to them was exactly what I thought, was gonna happen to them. They were who I thought they were. They legit were who I thought they were.
I mean,
I knew that the Pacers were a tough defensive team. I knew they can rebound. My biggest concern for this team, as I've been saying, was that they have no guy other than Victor Oladipo that can get them 20 a night, right? And they really don't. Even if you're looking at the game, Miles Turner had 16, Bogdanovich had 15, Lance Stevenson had 12, Sabonis only had 4, Corey Joseph only had 3, Booker only had 3, Thaddeus Young only had 7. Collison only had 6, and Collison was super cold. And Collison, didn't he lead? NBA 3-point percentage. Sorry, I should have looked this up. But I think Collison is leading the league right now in terms of NBA 3-point percentage. So if you're looking at this team, they have a good team. But the same way with the Toronto shit. When John Wall and Bradley Beal were on, it was great. Like you were waiting for DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry to show up. The only difference is that Victor Oladipo was a dog. He was a dog. He was swarming on defense. Yeah. He was active. He was diving on the floor. He was ripping up LeBron. He was in his bag. He was legit in his bag.
I mean, today, even as Bron said, Bron was like, yo, they came out.
Yes, Darren Collison is the leader in the NBA in terms of 3-point percentage, through the regular season at 46.8. So he was trash. He was 2 for 9. So he had a mid-game.
In the interview you played, I don't want to misquote it, but he basically said something to the effect of they came out and they played harder than us from jump. Yes, they came out and they played harder. Hold on, listen. They came out and they played harder from them from jump. Again, the Cavs do have a lot of guys who I think if they weren't in their first playoff game, they were in their first playoff game in bigger roles or hadn't been to the playoffs in a while. They really still getting team. I mean, George Hill was out for 2 games. They just now figuring out the starting. I think this may have been the 8th time we've seen that starting lineup all year. That lineup hadn't been, because that lineup hadn't been healthy.
Yeah.
The whole team hadn't been healthy. The lineup hadn't been healthy. LeBron came out. He had no field goal attempts in the first 9 minutes. I didn't mind that. I felt that him coming out again, knowing that you got a lot of guys who damn near aren't that used to playing with each other, or got guys who are coming into their first playoff game ever or in a while, he would come out and try to dish the ball around and get other people involved. But the main thing is nobody was hitting shots. If you're not hitting shots, you not beating. They shot 8 for 34 from 3. You not hitting shots. If you aren't making shots, you can't win a basketball game. And the issue with that is, I'm pretty sure all year the Pacers were among the top in transition points. So if you turning the ball over, shooting bad shots, and you getting runouts, and you getting up and down court, and as a team, as far as team speed, Victor Oladipo is faster than everybody on the Cavs.
Yeah.
And Darren Collison might be faster than everybody on the Cavs. They got a lot of people on that team who are very fast. They have a much faster team than what Cleveland has. So you can't be missing shots and making bad passes. J.R. Smith was throwing a couple of passes like it was in December. Jeff Green didn't score and he was sloppy with the ball, throwing passes like it was December. It just wasn't a good performance altogether. As a team, they definitely had some things to work on. There were a couple times in which I thought that Cleveland could really make a run at it, but they could never put together multiple possessions before they would turn the ball over. And they left a lot of points at the line too. So Cleveland definitely has a lot of things to work on. I mean, just even looking at the stats, Clarkson wasn't really good today. JR came on later on. He came on around third, fourth quarter. He came on, but for the most part, he wasn't good today. Larry Nance, I did like the way Larry Nance performed. LeBron was LeBron. Kevin Love was decent, but I still need you to take more than 8 shots. Like you had 17 rebounds, which the rebounds were huge. Yes. He was big on the glass, and that was why I think even when they were making a run, a couple of the plays came off second chance points, which was because of Kevin Love. He even had a block today. I've never seen Kevin Love.
Yeah, the Cavs only had 4 blocks today, though.
But
still,
Kevin Love had one of them.
Yeah,
and you basically have no interior presence. So that means Kevin Love has to play bigger than what he is, and so does Nance. So that was encouraging. But that being said, you still need to give me more than 9 points. Ain't no Kyrie there now. You can't be out there giving me 9 points. You can't do that. But they definitely have some things that they need to go look at and improve upon. But I'm not about to jump completely off ship.
Okay. Well, you talked about the Pacers in terms of, transition. Well, in terms of their pace, they're actually at the bottom half. I mean,
no, but
I'm just saying.
Transition points.
Well, you got to look. Well, you need to look at
transition
points. You got to prove that. But in terms of pace, they're one of the lowest teams in pace, which is really funny why Cleveland only would score 80 points. Obviously, they couldn't make a shot, but this is the same reason why I told you that, well, actually, one quick question. The Cavaliers, they're healthy, right, at this point in time? Mm-hmm. Other than George Hill, I think it's still out, correct? George Hill was back. I'm sorry, George Hill was back. But they're 100% healthy, right?
Yeah.
So everybody on the team that can play has been playing. It's not going to get any better. Jeff Green is in your starting lineup. The same way you told me last year Derek Williams could potentially play valuable minutes for them in the finals, and I told you hell no. It's the same reason why I am not taking the Cavaliers to do anything this year. Jeff Green is your starting power forward. You're not going to win anything.
I don't think
the man was 0 of 7 from he was 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. He had 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 turnover, but he was a minus 15 for the game, and he did not score a point. He had no effect on the game. All he did was take away momentum from the entire team. J.R. Smith actually played a really good game.
He did.
And even Mark Jackson commented that he thought that he needs to start. And I'm actually not mad at that. I think that Rodney Hood is still a young guy that's still trying to get into the swing of things. JR is proven in the playoffs, and you know that when JR catches fire, nobody can catch fire like the way JR can catch fire. So if he can catch fire in the playoffs, he coming off the bench giving you 15, and he playing 29 minutes a game. I mean, you might as well start him. And the other thing about it is that, like Ty Lue, now that Ty Lue has come back, this offense doesn't move anymore. In them few games Ty Lue was gone, the offense was moving. Now that Ty Lue is back, ain't nobody moving the ball. LeBron get the ball, he dribbling the ball, he clapping at Kevin Love, throw me the ball, and they going out there and they getting dubbed. So with this Cavaliers team, everybody wanted to keep talking to me about the Cavaliers, and they want to stay in the YouTube comments and say, LeBron is going to do this, LeBron is going to do that. I don't want to hear about the Cavaliers. Go ahead.
Real quick, Indiana is 5th in fast break points per game.
Okay. All right.
So you can't
you're right.
You can't turn the ball over, be missing shots, turning the ball over, and gets a team who scores on the break. Look who I just
Indiana
said.
had 38 points in the fast break in the game versus Cleveland.
Bro, look who
I'm sorry. They had 18 points in the fast break, and they had 38 points in the paint versus the Cavs 32. That's the other thing about it. They have no interior. They have no interior protection.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Look who you have Oladipo and you have Collison. I said they fastened everybody on Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Then you got Bogdan who can run a break. He was
absolutely awful in this game. He had a plus 19, but he was terrible.
But he can still run a break and knock down. You got guys who can knock down. Also, you got Thaddeus Young, just for a big coming down the court. So you can't miss shots, turn the ball over against this team because they're going to get... And Cleveland is terrible in defending on the break. I know this for a fact. I don't know what the stat is. I'm not finna look it up right now. But I will tell y'all, Cleveland is terrible at defending on the break.
I mean, Cleveland's one of the worst defensive teams
there
in the
you
NBA.
Go.
They have
there you go.
For
so you're not good at defending on the break. You cannot take bad threes and miss them, or just shoot 23% for 3. Can't do that. Or turn the ball over and against this team. You can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland was 29th in the NBA this year in terms of defensive efficiency, right ahead of Phoenix by 1 point. But they were behind the Bulls, the Kings, the Nuggets, Brooklyn, Memphis, New York, Minnesota. So defensively, they've always been a subpar team this year. The only difference is that they have LeBron James in their team. But what you're seeing the Pacers do is the same thing that I always give Pop the credit for doing, and the thing that I think Nate McMillan wanted to do last year, but I don't think that. I think that because PG wasn't invested, he wasn't necessarily put in the best possible position to do that because everybody knew PG was on his way out. Versus Victor Oladipo, he's there. It's very clear that he's the number one. You're obviously looking potentially to get a number 2. So what if somebody want to take a chance and might want to come to Indiana and get a contract? We were watching that Shaq Orlando thing, and it was about some money. So hey, if you offer a guy that might need a little bit of money, some money to go to Indiana, you might be able to attract the star, especially if Victor Oladipo is going to show up in the playoffs. And what they do against LeBron that makes them very, very good is that, number one, they defended everybody pretty much from the moment that they passed the half-court line. They're touching everybody. They putting hands on LeBron. They knocking LeBron around. And what they doing is they letting LeBron go crazy. Fine, Bron, you want to get to the paint. You want to shoot 14 free throws? Go ahead. Shoot 14 free throws. Make 10 of them. Cool. Go ahead. But guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to get those goofy open threes that you normally going to get. You're not going to get those points in the transition as you would normally get. And then you're going to see what it's really like when you actually got people pressing your shooters, and then you wind up going 8 for 34. The only problem for the Pacers is that the Cavs can get hot. So the Pacers might win this game, and then the Cavs can get hot and win 4 games in a row. My faith is still in LeBron James. But LeBron fans, stop talking to me about LeBron until LeBron is in a very clear position of dominance throughout this playoffs. Period. Period.
What does that even?
Unless he's up 2 games in a series, don't talk to me about LeBron.
I mean,
seriously. Unless LeBron is up 2 games in whatever series he's in, do not talk to me about LeBron James. I don't want to hear about it.